whispers are true. Names that are legendary. Stock legends.com.
Hello traders, today we're looking at GNCC GenCorp trading on the pink sheets for September 27th, 2011. We're looking at a weekly chart that goes back actually a few years, all the way into 2009. It's important to note because basically we can sort of get a better idea of the trends that are developing. So I'm going to take you through the chart here piece by piece. First of all, what we can see is on the RSI, we see periods where the stock price is overbought. Whenever the RSI generally peaks around to 80, historically you can see that we generally have a pullback. We overbought here about 4 times in the last, since about October of 2010. And you can see when the RSI sort of peaks up in here, we sort of have a little bit of a correction. And what we had was generally a downward trend from, we were around 10 cents all the way down to a penny of a low. And then we had a breakout here when we broke our downtrend line, and you can see that we had a nice rally. Now there's 2 resistances we were looking at. We had the 100-day moving average resistance. You can see the price was basically trading below the 100-day moving average, and when we had a trend line break and the 100-day moving average break, that was a signal that we were going to reverse into a new direction from a down to an upwards trend. So now we've got this rising trend occurring here. We've got the support trend that's pushing the price up, and we've got the 100-day moving average just kind of floating around down here. Now we broke the trend support up in here, and this is also sort of coincides with the RSI breaking down. You can see right around 60 was the lows. For this entire uptrend, our RSI stayed above 60, and when we broke below the 60 or 50 area, we moved down here, and this is also sort of coinciding with the fact the price from a peak of 25 cents is now entering into a correction phase from the run. So we had a nice long run from November to August, coinciding somewhere around 8 to 10 months, and now we're seeing that correction period occur. And this can be healthy in an upwards trend. Stocks don't run up forever. We do need those pullbacks in order to sort of build a new base of shareholders and investors before the stock price can continue on up again. What's interesting to note though is that we've got this red line here that we've connected with at least 1, 2, 3, 4 times, which does solidify the fact that we should have a clear trend line here now. Usually if it's touched 3 times or more, that does solidify a trend resistance. So what's an interesting note is that the price has actually pulled back quite steeply away from the red trend line. And what can generally happen from there is when stocks have downwards trends, they tend to find bottoms eventually, and there's sort of 2 key components that can be looked at to find those bottoms. One is that we see an increase in volume on the downtrend that can generate buying interest back into the stock, and 2 is when it starts to sell off quite quickly, when it moves away from the resistance line and starts to pull back really fast. That's what sort of brings the interest back in, and that's where we can start to establish the base. So from the pullback, we need to start trying to figure out where we're going to have a base occur, and we can take a look historically. You can see that right around 5 cents was a resistance area for quite a long time. It was resistance back here, it was resistance here as well, and then once we broke it, we generally will look as a prior resistance as a new support line. We actually found support just above it at 6 cents. So we very likely have a lot of support around the 5 to 6 cent area, and we've pulled back all the way down to 6 cents here. There could still be more selling pressure. That could bring it down into the back into the support area around 5 cents, but we very likely could possibly see a bounce up in here. Now also interesting is the 100-day moving average is sitting at 5.54 cents, also sort of coinciding with that price support level. So we've got a moving average here that could come into play as a support level, and we've also got price support that could be coming into effect as well. Now if we kind of take a look a little farther down, you can see the volume, not really a lot of interest here, and then we've got a lot of interest that was generated this week. So there's a lot of trading going on right now. A lot of it's selling pressure because the price is coming down, but when we start to see the stock reverse, there's going to be a lot of buying pressure that's going to push it up. So I don't know, we haven't seen any lift off of a support yet, but we want to see a lift off of a support, and that's going to confirm that we've found a bottom, and we could see a run all the way back up to our resistance area, which is sitting around 11, 12, 13 cents. So what we're possibly looking at here is a move from 6 cents or 5 cents all the way back up into the resistance trend line. And that is still suggesting the stock's in a downward trend. If we break this resistance level on high volume, if volume remains strong and we can actually break this trend line, our next target is going to be the high at 25 cents. So from 6 cents, establishing a possible support, this could be a really low risk entry point from here. Taking a look down a little further, we want to take a look at our momentum indicator is the MACD line, and we can see basically since the upward trend was developed, the MACD lines have been moving upward positive. You can see they touched here when the momentum was slowing down. They didn't cross over, and you can see here that the price continues to move up as the MACDs remain open. Now they crossed over here, right coinciding where the support line broke. That signals the correction. So right now we've got this downward pressure here. The MACD lines are widening open. What we want to see is them start to close back in. So any positive movement from here, if we start to see a bounce, these MACD lines are going to start to close back in, and if we get a crossover, that should coincide with the breakout point. So we're probably not going to see a breakout here tomorrow, but it is possible that we could be finding a bottom, and this could be a great entry for some gains to see coming up this week. So thanks for watching. Keep in mind I'm not an investment advisor. Don't use this as any buy or sell signal. Until next time, happy trading.